Number 5 is a newer game. It's Super Paper Mario on the Wii, and as you can already tell, it has the standard Mario procedure. Princess kidnapped, Mario has to master various types of worlds and eventually collect 7 magical artifacts. As always. Blah blah blah. So, after a while you manage to get to a mansion, and it turns out that this mansion belongs to the evil henchman of Count Black Mimi. You somehow make it by accidentally breaking a vase to get into huge debt of 1 million rupees. But to put it in a nutshell, you don't really pay the rupees, you find a secret room, you steal her rupees and pay her with her rupees. Well, she gets mad and you can see her ugly and scary side. She breaks her own friggin' neck and turns into a spider. How creepy is that? Fuck! And as you can guess, she starts chasing you, underlined with a rushing soundtrack. You get rid of her, but she appears again. And again with this annoying soundtrack. Well, scary. Luigis Mansion. The first Nintendo game where Luigi is the main protagonist. Luigi won a mansion in a contest, despite not having entered any contest. So the first thing Luigi does, he tells it Mario. The two agreed to meet up outside in that evening. Upon finally arriving at this new mansion, which looks much more sinister than the supplied photo, Mario is nowhere to be found. After that, Luigi proceeds inside the mansion and is soon assaulted by a ghost. That's where the adventure starts. The final boss I'm talking about is King Boo, or King Boo in the Bowser suit. Not that Bowser suit. Anyways, the whole setting was gloomy. I mean, it's not normal for Nintendo to go on this Ghostbusters trip, but there was a time when I almost peed my pants every time a ghost appeared. But what really freaked me out is the fact that the Japanese game says that the Mecha Bowser is a corpse. Something like this? Creepy, isn't it? So, number 3 is Star Fox 64. Well, first off, it has a genius story, and I'll try to make it short. The ingenious scientist Andros is driven to madness and nearly destroys the planet using biological weapons. Fox's father and his crew are sent out to stop him, but Pigment betrays them and his father dies. Afterwards, Andros attacks the whole Lilith system and the new Star Fox team has to stop him. Fox eventually defeats Andros, only to find out that this is a false robotic Andros. So he has to face him again, in his final form, a floating brain with 2 eyes. First, how he became a friggin' giant floating head, and second, which Nintendo employee had the idea to create such a final boss, like, I have an idea, let's make a final boss who's a huge brain with 2 eyes. The kids will love it. Sure, if you want to traumatize them. Now let's move on to number 4, a game that not many people know. And I'm talking about Earthbound. Ness is awakened by a meteorite. He investigates the crash site. He meets an alien who tells him to defeat the evil Gigas in the past, and so on and so on. This is the story so far. Now let's move to the scary part. The Gigas, the final boss of this game, was created by Shigesato Itoi, the creator of the Earthbound series. The Gigas resulted from a traumatic childhood event of Shigesato Itoi. When Itoi was a young boy, he accidentally viewed the wrong movie in a theater. It was a horror film. According to Itoi, the film featured a murder scene that he mistook for a rape scene. This event traumatized Itoi so much that his parents began to worry about his well-being. Itoi described Gigas as something that people cannot make sense of, but also as a living being who deserves love. You can imagine the rest. This, and this. You all know what I'm talking about. Hands down, it really deserved the first place. It's Majora's Mask. Now I'll come to the plot. It takes place several months after Ocarina of Time. Link is ambushed by a Skull Kid who is wearing Majora's Mask, a mask which has evil and apocalyptic power inside. The Skull Kid steals the Ocarina of Time and turns Link into a Deku scrub. And now fast forward. Link follows the Skull Kid through the cave to Clock Tower and Termina. There he meets the Happy Mask salesman, who says he can help him if he retrieves the Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask from the Skull Kid. Link also learns that the moon of the alternate world is land resides with will crash into Clock Town in 3 days. So he confronts Skull Kid at midnight of the 3rd day. He is able to retrieve the Ocarina of Time and is told that he needs to get the 4 giants to stop the apocalypse. He plays the Song of Time on the Ocarina, which causes him to return to the moment he first arrived in Termina. He defeats the 4 necessary bosses to summon the 4 giants, who halt the moon's descent toward Termina. Majora's Mask arises from the Skull Kid and possesses the moon. Link defeats Majora's Mask, returning the moon to its proper place in the sky. A very thrilling story. It upset me that this game had a time limit. I mean, come on, a Zelda game with a time limit? A time limit? This cannot be happening. The motivation in a Zelda game was the unlimited time to do side quests and other stuff. But a friggin' time limit? No. No! What I really like about this game is the ulterior motive. It's the same Skull Kid Link taught a song on Ocarina of Time. How he went astray. And how he became such a psychopath. These are really profound thoughts. Furthermore, the whole setting is really frightening. I mean, every time Link puts on a mask, it seems like he's suffering. The soundtrack does its bit too. I have 2 examples. First, the final hours. It's really depressing and you have a serious time pressure. And second, the final boss fight against Majora's Mask. It really doesn't fit the situation. Fuck off. And it's just plain disturbing. And now I come to the moon. His whole face expression is just morbid. And does it mean after 3 days, when the moon crashes into the clock tower, that everybody dies? That's unusual for Nintendo.